Hello everyone and welcome to the Merry Monday Mail Call. It's 6:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Time right now. We're 1 hour earlier than we normally are, just so I can sort out the streams for other YouTube channels, but then also just needed to do some logistics. This weekend I'm traveling. I'm in Los Angeles, which is why I have moved the time. So welcome to those of you who are watching. It's great to see you all. You would have seen yesterday's stream where I talked about Comic-Con Revolution, but I did do a little bit of shopping whilst I was here as well. So I've got a few things to share with you today. And if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and ringing the notification bell for future videos. And if you like the video, please make sure to hit the like button on the way out. So with that, don't have the overhead camera that we would normally have today. So I'll be just showing off the books that I've picked up. Some of them that I picked up from Los Angeles Hunting and some I picked up from Comic-Con Revolution. I will save some of the bigger books from Comic-Con Revolution for a feature video because I want to let everyone have a bit of a show floor tour, see what the whole con was all about. But it's been great whilst I've been down here as well. So I caught up with John from Bronze and Modern Gods. He was at Comic-Con Revolution yesterday as well, and caught up with him again today. So stay tuned. If you haven't already checked out Bronze and Modern Gods, please go over and check out John and Richard's great content and videos. Right, with that, shall we get down to some books, ladies and gentlemen? I think we should start with an old one. This is Kid Colt, issue 207. This is potentially the first in my slippery slope of collecting still only 35-cent copies. Saw this in with another batch that I'll come to in a second that I wanted to pick up because I'd save on the postage. So I got these sent to my storage locker here and basically picked them up whilst I was here. So these are a really good example of the still only 25 cents logo. You can see it here. Let's see if it will zoom in for you. So I did toy with calling the channel still only 25 cents, but it didn't really match the time zone. The reason why I go with still only 35 cents is because that was 1978. That's where I really started collecting comics. Talking of still only 35 cents, I finally managed to pick up a copy of Kid Colt Outlaw, issue 226, one of the more hard to find still only 35-cent books, particularly in high grade. So grabbed that while I was here. So yes, that's another one to add to the list. And then issue 229 with the Rawhide Kid this time. So the Rawhide Kid also has some still only 35-cent copies, and I will be trying to pick those up. They're harder to find, I think, because it was actually really towards the end of the run for both of these titles, Kid Colt Outlaw and Rawhide Kid. So still on the hunt for the vast majority of these books. These aren't mega high grade, so still looking for higher grade copies in these, but these will do as placeholders for the time being. I've also been on a bit of a tear recently as it comes to Spider-Woman. So I picked up a couple of books from John, actually, from Bronze and Modern Gods. Picked up Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, One Spider-Woman Will Have to Go. This is issue 25. Love this cover. And inside art by Stephen Leola, I believe is how you pronounce it. And he will be at HeroesCon. So couple of these I'm going to consider taking to get signed by him. I know he did a bit of a run on New Mutants as well, so might take a few of those with me to Heroes next month and see how they go. But yeah, wanted to pick this one up. This is a 9698 copy. Very happy to have that. And talking about Steve Lealoha, I think. This is the copy of issue 35 with a fantastic cover. Look at the art on that. So on the brink of madness. So that's a great one to pick up. And again, relatively cheap. Just trying to now trying to finish off the Spider-Woman run. So thought you would like and enjoy that one. I also picked up this whilst I was here, again from John from Bronze and Modern Gods. I think it was recently on his show, which he was showing Richard. Picked this one up. This is issue number 9 with this fabulous Brian Bolland cover. It's not Judge Death. It looks like Judge Death, but it's actually a judge's head on a pike, what looks to be in the Cursed Earth, but a fabulous cover. Very tough in high grade, this one, because of the black cover, but a fabulous image, as you can see. Really cool to get that. So making good progress on my Judge Dredd Eagle Comics run, particularly for the Brian Bolland covers, are the ones that I'm really hunting. But this is fabulous. Great to have that. Now, I also picked up post Thunderbolts. So you would have seen the post Thunderbolts review. And I picked up a few books that I felt would be good to grab. So I grabbed the New Avengers issue 1, blank copy. I will be taking these, I think, to Heroes to see what they can do with these, because I think it would be good to get some of the characters from the New Avengers / Thunderbolts on these. So going to be grabbing and taking these. So I've got a couple of them, as you can see, and I've got one back home as well. So 3 of those blank copies ready for me to take to get sketches from artists at Heroes Con. So if you've got any ideas, put some in the comments in terms of which artist and which characters do you think I should try for at Heroes, and we'll let you know what the results are. Thought it would be apt as well to pick up a copy of New Avengers 1. This is not a great copy, but I thought when I was ordering the others, I'd just drop this in so I could have a read and refresh my memory of Brian Michael Bendis's New Avengers run. So that's for that. And I thought this one was a good one. This is the first appearance of the Illuminati. This is New Avengers issue 7 from 2005, but this is the Sentry copy. The Sentry, startling stories from the page featuring the Sentry. Thought that was quite apt because this is the start of the Sentry run, or the Sentry arc within New Avengers. So picked this one up because I just really wanted that cover, and I thought it was a very nice reminiscent cover of those Silver Age books. So that was definitely one to pick up. 9.6, not a bad grade. Didn't pay too much for it, which is nice. I'd rather take a cheap 9.6 over a very expensive 9.8 at times. But again, who knows? With this, could be one to crack open, press, and get resubmitted. But I don't think there's a value in it. But nice book to have anyway to sort of celebrate the New Avengers. And also, it's just nice that it's the first appearance of the Illuminati as well. Okay, what else do we have in the mix today? So I recently talked about variants, price variants in particular, and there was one book that I was, very interested in, particularly when it comes to Canadian variants. So I managed to pick up a Canadian variant of Alpha Flight #1 in 9.6. Very happy to have that. As I say, I think this is, of all of the Canadian price variants, this is probably the one that feels the most Canadian, given Alpha Flight is obviously a Canadian super team. So that was something that I've been looking for a while. So now I can add that to the collection. I've got the US Sense copies, but this just feels completely at home. And again, this is probably one, it does get quite pricey if you get to the 9.8. So it could be one to crack out and give a go when I start resubmitting, if I ever start resubmitting to CGC again. But this one, lovely little addition to the collection. I also picked up this little beauty, which I will take out of the bag because you can't see it without it. So it's even still got its original subscription cover. So this is how the book would be delivered to the individual. You can see the address stamp there. Unfortunately, I should have blocked that out. I might do that in post. But this is the Judge Dredd full issue. The Sylvester Stallone mockery issue here. So thought that would be a good one to pick up, given how much of a Dredd fan I am. It's still got all of the attachments inside it. But you've got the Judge Dredd storyline in here. Some nice caricatures of Sylvester Stallone there. So I thought that would be a nice little pickup. Very interested in that. Let's see if we have a few people in the stream. Nothing in the chat as yet, unless I'm missing something. I also managed to pick up this. Now I'm definitely taking this to Heroes Con, and this will be, I'm going to get signed by Richard and Wendy Peeney. It's already signed on the interior, but this is Elfquest portfolio with a whole bunch of beautiful color prints inside. Don't want to ruin it, but it is signed by Wendy, and this one is 978 of 3,000 portfolio copies that they produced. And rather than going through each individual, I'll show you the back cover, which has all of the images that you can find inside. Although there does seem to be an extra one there, which is, so maybe we should show some of these. There you go. More beautiful illustrations. So very happy to pick that up. I think these may be extras because they're not listed on the back. Yeah, plate 1 through to plate 12 is the ones that are featured on the back here, but it appears that these two are extras that come with the portfolio. So fabulous to pick those up. And as I say, I will get them signed by Richard and Wendy whilst at Heroes Con. Wonderful news, Gary. That is fantastic news. So your chat on Hangover Show this morning made me go and book a trip to Heroes Con. It will be fantastic to see you there, sir. Look forward to hanging out with you. It promises to be a fantastic event. So everyone's super excited, as you can tell from the live stream that we hosted this morning. So I was lucky enough to be on Lettuce Comics, Hagen from Lettuce Comics live stream with him and Nate. And we talked Heroes Con. We had Brian LCS there too, and Nate from Hoyer Comics. And we had a really good time. I think it went for an hour and a half, I think, from memory. My camera ran out a couple of times. So that was fun. But yeah, it was a really good thing. And we talked a lot about Heroes. So glad to see you there. But unfortunately, Gary's now blaming me for the cost, and I'm going to have to stump up for that. But it's really good to see that you're coming. We will look forward to having you there. So wonderful stuff, my friend. Wonderful stuff. Talking of wonderful stuff, we got one of the Don Russ cards. I think this is 1966. So yeah, there you go. There's the Hulk. But I wanted an A-bomb for Christmas. I think that's the leader in the foreground. So picked that up because I've been after these Don Russ cards for a little while. A little pricey one was this one, though. A Spider-Man one. What do you mean, no extra gift wrap? No, wait, what do you mean? What's it say? What do you mean 50 cents extra for gift wrapping? So that's a great Spidey card there. I know that my friend Mad Spidey will probably be very jealous. Probably Brian LCS as well. So that's fantastic. Now, I did also pick up some extra stuff. I went to House of Secrets. Unfortunately, didn't buy anything. So there is a video coming on that, but I didn't buy anything from there. Great shop though, fabulous shop. I sort of went all the way over from Ontario, California to Burbank, California, forgetting just how bad traffic can be. But yeah, managed to get there, get back and do the live show. But yeah, fabulous store. Didn't get anything from there. So all the books I'm going to show you now come from the remainder, or the vast majority of the books that came from the Comic-Con Revolution. And so I'm going to share some of these now. I'll save some for the long form video that I'm going to be doing that showcases the show. But these are absolutely brilliant. So I am a big fan of photo covers, and this one in particular it's not a characters in photo form, but it is the appearance of Werewolf by Night in Spider-Woman issue 32. This is the second time he appears in the book, but it's just got the Universal monsters in the background, which I think is a fabulous book and a fabulous idea. So again, this is Miller and Janssen cover. So again, that adds to the mix. So you've got obviously the Universal monsters, and then having Frank Miller draw that cover. It's a fabulous book. So super happy to get that. This one was $10. I thought that was really good, considering that this is in very good shape. So very happy to pick that one up. Next from this dealer, this is from Cali Coast Comics, these books. Next on the list was Marvel's issue 4. No, book 2. This is book 2 of 4. So this is obviously the X-Men one. So this is beautifully illustrated by Alex Ross throughout. Story by Kurt Busiek, I believe. And so I thought I'd grab all of the Marvel. So now I've completed my Marvel set again. I used to have it back in the day when this first came out, but obviously sold my collection. Now I'm reclaiming this, but this is an absolutely beautiful cover and a beautiful book. All of the Marvel's covers are fantastic. And I think the sort of embryonic stage of Alex Ross's work, but again, you can just see how amazing his work was even then. So he hasn't, his style is just fabulous. So great to pick that up. And while we're on the subject of Marvels, pick this one up. So this is issue 3, I believe. Is it issue 3? No, this is actually book 4 of 4. And I think it features the death of Gwen Stacy. But this, for me, is one of the best of the Marvel covers, with Spidey's mask, and the Green Goblin, and Gwen Stacy in there. But this is signed by Kurt Busiek on the front cover. So it does have a certificate of authenticity to go with it. And I thought I couldn't pass that up. It's very rare that you're able to find signed copies. It'd be great if I could get Alex Ross on there as well, on the acetate that goes in the front, because that would be phenomenal. But lovely signature placement as well, and love the color on that. So very happy to have picked that one up to add to the mix. And then from another one of my stores that I picked up a copy of the king size annual of Master of Kung Fu, one of the giant size. Oh no, this is just the annual. So great to pick this up. I think it's the first appearance of Iron Fist and Shang-Chi together. So let's see if this happens in the MCU, but wanted to grab that. Great book to pick up and add to the collection as well. We talked about Spider-Woman, and as I say, I'm trying to complete that run now. So this is Spider-Man 30. This one was marked up at $60, but has no significance. But when I took it to the dealer, he dropped it down to 10, and then again, that 10 was actually reduced by 50%. So this ended up being a $5 book, and again, in great shape. All of the books that I managed to get are pretty much in very, very high grade, near mint or near mint plus grade. More Spider-Woman for you. Issue 34. Again, great cover here. This one was $6. Again, all the prices were half price, near mint. So that's great. Lovely to pick that one up. We have John, JSS Brooklyn. How are you? Dave, do you usually collect raw or graded books? I hope you're having a successful and enjoyable trip in travel in the USA. I am having, I have had a wonderful weekend. It's great to have a little bit of rest and recuperation, get over the jet lag before work proper. But yes, I'm enjoying my time. And do I usually collect raw? I'm now increasingly collecting raw books, to be honest. I'm finding that obviously I'm not submitting to CGC given the current situation in terms of getting books over to them. So I have on hold in terms of CGC grading, unless I can do it at a show or something when I actually do get to go. So maybe at Heroes I'll submit some more, but for now I'm not considering it. I'm mainly collecting raw because I just also like the idea that I can actually crack these things open and read them now. So the more I get into the hobby again, the more I'm switching to primarily having raw books, but then occasionally I'll have like a key book and try and also get a reader copy to go with it. So then I have the two. So always works that way. And I'll settle for a facsimile sometimes if I've got I've done that with Superman, that Superman relaunch that Neil Adams, that cover with Kryptonite No More. I've done that more recently. So mostly raw books at the moment, JSS. Talking of raw books, issue 36 of Spider-Woman. Again, $6, half price this one. Near mint copy. And again, look at that cover. Absolutely fabulous. Great looking Spider-Woman there. And again, Steve Leahola. You'll have to forgive me if I'm not saying it right. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments, as they always do. Went with some more annuals. We've got a Hulk and Power Man and Iron Fist. This is the Marvel Team Up annual. This is issue 3 of that run. Again, decent looking. Lee Ahola. Thank you, sir. I knew that my friend Gary at Tales from My Spinner Rack would be able to correct me, because he has such extensive knowledge and knows a lot of these creators, actually, which is great. So thank you for that, sir. Yeah, this is a great cover as well. I think it's Frank Miller. Yep, it's Frank Miller and John Romita on that cover there. I could tell from the Iron Fist, I think. But yeah, that's a great one to pick up, featuring Machine Man as well in there. So it's a very strange team up of those 4 characters. I got a couple of books from my Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man run. So this is issue 32, Rage of the Reptile. I don't think that's Lizard. I think that's just, it may or may not be. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but still a good copy. And I managed to pick up a copy of, and that one was $10, so that was a $5 book. I got issue 3 for $10. Enter the Light Master, which I have vague memories of this when I was a kid, with the UK reprint of this title. So that was why this one was such a good one to pick up. We have the first appearance of Bloodsport, which was originally $15, reduced to $12, and that obviously is $6. So happy to get that at $6. First appearance of Bloodsport, obviously in his role at Suicide Squad, James Gunn's newest Suicide Squad movie. So happy to have that, and obviously he survived, so maybe a future for that character, played by Idris Elba. So let's see if he comes back at any point. Marvel 2-in-1, featuring The Thing and Alpha Flight. This is issue 84, sorry. And again, got that for $5, near mint copy. So happy to grab that one. Copy of Marvel Age, number 7. These early Marvel Ages are very hard to find, particularly in high grade. Any Marvel Age is hard to find in high grade, because these were treated very much like more sort of reader copies because they're very magazine format in terms of the content. And again, this is, I think it's a Butch Geiss cover, who recently passed. So thought, again, another one to add to the mix here. That was $5. And then got a nice Bog John. Is it John? Bog. I'm sure Gary is going to correct me in the chat. Bogdanovi. Regardless, near mint copy for $2.50 of Marvel Age 46, with Fantastic Four versus the X-Men on that front cover. So who knows if Avengers Doomsday features this? This could go big, because I think that was the first in title of them having a battle. They obviously had battles in the issues before, but not a X-Men and the Fantastic Four. So as an actual title. So this is big news. Fantastic Four versus the X-Men. And I think this is inked by Terry Austin. Let's have a quick look at this cover in detail. There you go. So that's fantastic. And what else do we have to share with you today? Well, I did manage to, as I mentioned, crumble my still only 35 cents collection. And it's, here we go. It's Bogdanovi, maybe Bogdanovi. Okay. So I did get it somewhat right, which is good. Thank you very much, Gary. So yeah, I did make a little bit of a dent in the still only 35 cent run. And I think that you will enjoy some of these. Some of the more rarer ones I managed to find as well. But the ones that I was really interested in is finishing off my Hulk run. So I managed to pick up this copy. I think it's the first Moondragon in comics as well. So issue 35. Issue 228, for still only 35 cents. Got a copy of 229, still only 35 cents. A copy of 230, still only 35 cents. Notice the different styling of that, still only 35 cents there. I love the different styles of them. Issue 232. And to finish us off, issue 234. Now, I think that one has key significance, and I need to just double check what's that one, because it was reasonably pricey, that one, coming in at $30. I may have overpaid for that one, but let's have a quick look and see what the secret behind this one is. Let's have a quick squiz on Key Collector. Let's scroll all the way down to 234. So 234 is, how could I have forgotten this? First appearance of Quasar, Wendell Vaughn, I believe. So that's why this book is pricey. So super happy to get that. A certain gentleman on Bronze and Modern Gods will be very happy that I have picked that one up, and he'll be very disappointed that I didn't remember its key significance off the drop of a hat. So that one's good. And then I'll close off with these. These are from the half price stall. And again, very difficult to find. I've got a copy of Marvel Tales. This is issue 98, still only 35 cents. That classic Death of Gwen Stacy story reprinted. So happy to pick that one up. Now we get into the real sort of very tough to find these in high grade, these reprints. A copy of Marvel Triple Action issue 44. We got a copy of issue 46, still only 35 cents. Got a copy of 47, still only 35 cents, again with that different Still in 35 cents logo. A copy of Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man issue 26, still in 35 cents. Look at that one with the yellow sunburst. Look at that one with the starburst. That's a nice way of doing it. And then probably to close us off for today is this copy of Marvel's Greatest Comics, 82. And again, very tough to find these. I've had a real struggle, but again, getting it in high grade as well. Very happy. So that's a nice little addition to the still only 35 cents collection. And probably the end of my books whilst I'm out here. Now I've got to try and get them home. So that'll be the next part of the fun journey. Comic Cap Collectibles is here. Great to see you. Yo, hello to you as well. Unfortunately, we're just about to wrap up, but great to have you here. Before I do go, though, I do want to call out a brand new member. The Comic Vet, Chris the Comic Vet, has joined the channel. So thank you very much. It's great to have you on board. Hopefully there'll be a new mega members mail call for you soon when I get back to Australia. But welcome, Chris, and thank you for the support. As I say, all the proceeds from memberships do go to the Hero Initiative. So if you haven't joined already, please consider joining the Price Variance, our membership. I'll be adding Chris to that long list on the right-hand side. But again, we do creator videos, creator member-only videos, interviews with classic creators. We do the mega members mail call show, a monthly live stream. And once a month, we give away a sketch. I actually sent off a couple of sketches to 2 of our lucky winners from the members whilst I was here. So they should be getting theirs very soon. All right. That's it for this week. It's so good to see you all. Have a great week. And as I say, it's Monday in Australia. So the work week begins. So I will see you on the other side. Have a great week, everyone. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.